Hi guys, welcome back to the MCM BUZZ stage, and we are live here in London with Adventure Time's Finn himself, Jeremy Shada.
Thank you very much, it's good to be here.
It's fantastic to see all these guys out, a lot of them dressed up for you.
Oh, I know,
in
I've seen
Adventure
some
Time
really
stuff.
awesome stuff. I've seen some great PBs, some great Finns, some great Fionas.
Yeah.
Finn sitting down right there. You're on the older side, man, that's awesome. I like seeing that. You got a full-on beard. I can't even grow a beard. I wish I could, but my face doesn't work.
But you have a young face, sir.
He does, yeah.
Have you, I mean, obviously you're a voice actor as the voice of Finn. Have you ever been tempted to dress up as Finn yourself?
I've actually never dressed up as Finn once in my life. I've never done it. I've never done it. People always think I'm like blaspheming the show. They're like, why won't you dress up as Finn? I guess the reason I probably don't is because I feel like if I did it once, someone would inevitably take a picture, and that would just be like a meme on the internet throughout eternity. I would never escape that.
Is that a bad thing?
It could be.
Maybe.
It could be. It could be. I don't know. Depends on what they do with it.
So for those who haven't seen Adventure Time or don't know much about it, when you first read the script about Land of View, etc., did you just think, what is this about, or how did you sort of imagine it in your head?
I had no clue what was going on. I was just like, okay, we're running through this dungeon. There's a big flaming beast. We're fighting him, and now it's raining knives outside, and there's this candy kingdom. You know, it's so crazy and all over the place.
Yeah.
When I first started doing it, pretty much, I just started doing the show, and with any show, you're like, you hope it's going to be successful. You hope it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
And you know, we're putting a lot of work into it. It's great, but you never know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah.
In editing, or even how the fans are going to respond.
And now it's a cult phenomenon. You've
yeah.
got 4 Emmys, is that right?
I think that's
Something
right.
like that.
Yeah.
So that deserves a round of applause.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
my gosh. Among other stuff, I mean.
Pat myself on the back.
Yeah. Well, obviously you're a major part of the show.
Thank you.
So did you expect it to be that popular at any point?
No, I mean, like I said, you always hope it's going to be, but I never expect anything I do is going to be huge. There's certain things that you do that are awesome, and they don't end up being huge. So you just kind of are a little bit of a skeptic, I guess.
Yeah.
The only thing that made me have a little bit of an inkling that it was going to be big is the original little pilot short had like a huge cult following on YouTube.
Right.
There's like college dorms that had like painted their whole dorm, all the Land of View.
Yeah.
And so then when it aired, it was like, oh, it has big numbers. People are really watching. I'm like, cool. But then it really doesn't hit you until you go to like a fan event, like MCM, or the first one I went to was San Diego Comic-Con in London. And I walk out on the panel, there's like multiple thousand people, and they're all wearing Finn hats and like all these makeshift costumes. It's just awesome, yeah.
And so, I mean, speaking about that, like how people paint their dorms, they paint their houses and cars and do all sorts of stuff. What's kind of the maddest, sort of most bold fan sort of art, in a way, that you've seen?
There's a lot. In Australia, we had a guy that his whole car was canvassed all Adventure Time on the outside. It was like a custom paint job all Adventure Time. He had me and John DiMaggio sign it. We've had another guy that, like the whole outside of his massive 2-story house is this massive Adventure Time mural. I've had people get my signature on their leg above their tattoo of Finn and Jake, and then they went and like tattooed my signature onto their leg as well. So I'm like a tattoo artist, I guess. And there's just crazy stuff. Like we have Adventure Time Monopoly. I think they're gonna do Adventure Time Legos, and we were McDonald's toys at one point. So you've made it when you're a McDonald's toy. It's a big point.
And have you seen much kind of Adventure Time, like figures or stuff around the con today?
I've seen some really cool stuff. I love the stuff that people make themselves, like all the custom stuff too. People, whenever they make like the Finn swords themselves, or like the custom like Marceline axe bases, I always love those. And then it's cool traveling abroad because there's merchandise like here in London that we don't have back in the States.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of little Lady Rainicorn things that we don't have back in the States. Or this one version of Finn that's like a plush, but he's like really fat. He's like super fat and round. I don't know. It's awesome. It's really cute though.
A plus size Finn.
Yeah, it's a little chubby plus size Finn. It's awesome.
And so if you were going to describe Adventure Time in terms of a cross between two shows, what two shows would that be?
Put me on the spot here. I'm going to go with if you mixed SpongeBob with Game of Thrones.
Does that work for you guys?
I think that kind of makes sense. You get the, it kind of makes sense. I honestly don't know what else I would just like compare it to besides that, really. But.
And I would say, Finn's probably the most normal character in the land of Ooo.
Yeah.
So who would you say was the kind of the craziest or the most enigmatic?
I think that's hard. There's a lot of crazy characters. Either Lemon Grab's pretty crazy. I like Lumpy Space Princess a lot. And then a lot of our like really weird one-off guest star characters are very crazy and creepy.
Yeah.
I think the most creepy character I've seen was one episode we had this deer that like kidnaps everyone, and then he looks like a normal deer, but then at the very end of the episode he like stands up on his hind legs and he like takes off his hooves that are actually gloves and he has this little creepy hands. It scared the crap out of me. I don't like that. It's scary.
Well, one of the things about the show is that it's kind of for adults as well as kids. So you're
It
ever
is.
surprised by its sort of universal qualities. And who's the oldest fan that you've ever met?
The oldest fan I've ever met? I've definitely seen some grandmas. Some grandmas and grandpas that are Adventure Time fans. I'm trying to think what technically the oldest. I think there was a lady who was, I want to say 82 that I met at a con one time. She was there with her kids, and I thought, oh, she's probably just with her grandkids. They like the show. But she's like, oh, no, I watch it too. We love it. I'm like, more power to you. That's awesome.
And in terms of fans, do you have many celebrity fans that have come up to you at all?
Yeah, it's weird the people that really love the show that are celebrities. There's a band that I've grown up being big fan of, All Time Low, and they're huge Adventure Time fans. So they like invited me onto their podcast, and I got to go to a show. They like gave me like VIP tickets and stuff. You have I think someone said Lady Gaga was a big fan. A lot of like celebrities we've had come on the show just because they like it. Like Lucy Lawless. I met her at a con. She was a huge fan, and then we got her on the show because I met her and worked that out.
Fantastic.
It's crazy, yeah.
And so doing Finn, how long has it been now since you started?
Since I started, we started the show, we started recording the show in 2009, and I was 12 at that point, and I'm 19 now, so I've been doing it for about 7 years.
And is Jake and Finn, are they going to change in age?
They
in
have.
the future?
Yeah. Throughout the series, we've had Finn has had like birthdays and stuff, and there actually is like a timeline. So usually, I think in the show, he's usually about 2 years younger than I am in real life.
Yeah.
Which is great for me because it's hard to sound 12 years old all the time, especially considering the first season I went through voice change.
Well, we would love to give you guys the opportunity to ask some questions to Jeremy.
Of course.
And but before we do that, I want to know as well. You have a band, Make Out
I do.
Monday.
Yeah, Make Out Monday.
And you've been performing today.
I have. Yeah.
And how has that been?
Oh, it's been great. The fan response here from you guys, everybody that was at the show, I don't know if you were here in the audience, if you were at the show or not, but it was awesome. You guys just went nuts for it. You guys have the best support. It was great. And yeah, we played earlier. We're playing again tomorrow afternoon at like 1:30, I think, or something. But the fan response has been great, so really appreciate it, honestly. Thank you.
So I heard you singing the other day, and it was, rapping, running errands with my mom. I actually love that. It was brilliant.
Running errands with my mom. It's awesome. Yeah, I did that for a show in the States called Incredible Crew. It was like sketch comedy. That was super fun. It was like channeling my inner Eminem.
And who wrote that song?
The writers of the show, I think Mikey Day is a groundling, and then Nick Cannon, I think, wrote that together.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so if you want to stick your hands up for me, and I will come to you.
I think you got it up real quick, and then he was definitely second. He's definitely been getting it, for sure.
What's your favorite episode of Adventure Time?
You are super cute, by the way. I love your cosplay. You look awesome. And my favorite episode, it's hard. It kind of changes a lot. I think either the Trouble in Lumpy Space episode where Finn gets bitten by the lumps. It's an OG, but it's one of my favorites because, Finn's like, oh my God, Jack, you can't sit on my ball. Like that one. And then I also like the Rainy Day Daydream episode where they're just doing this whole daydream and there's like a knife storm and stuff. It's really cool.
Another question over here.
Hello, sir.
Hello. I'm not quite that low. So yeah, whenever you get a script, do you ever get a script sometime and think, oh my glob, where are they going with this? This is just crazy.
Pretty much every episode. Yeah, it's really weird. Like I generally don't really read the scripts before I go into record. I kind of prefer actually like reading through them as we're recording them, because it gives you like kind of a spontaneity, I guess. And a lot of times the first kind of inclination that you would have reading a line is usually pretty spot on. Sometimes you have to adjust it, but it's kind of fun going through the episode not knowing what's happening because Finn wouldn't know what's happening, and so I kind of like doing that.
Another question over here.
Have you got a favorite character on the show that isn't yourself?
That isn't myself?
Yeah.
No, I only like myself. No, I'm kidding. Probably either Ice King. Ganda, what are you doing? I love Ice King. He's so awesome. And or Lumpy Space Princess.
Another question over here.
Hi, what was your biggest milestone as a voice actor on the show?
On the show or just as a voice actor in general?
As a voice actor, that would be more interesting.
I mean, honestly, Adventure Time probably would be the biggest milestone. I mean, once you, the fact that I was able to, get the job of being the lead in a series, and not even just that, but the fact that Adventure Time has become so huge, and that we've gotten the amazing opportunity to continue doing it for such a long time, and it's becoming like this generation's like SpongeBob. That in itself is insanely awesome to me. So that's kind of the biggest milestone. I mean, also the fact that I get to work with like the best voice actors in the business: John DiMaggio, Tom Kenny, D. Bradley Baker, Hynden Walsh, who I think came to London about a year ago, plays Princess Bubblegum. That in itself is just awesome. So it's been a huge pleasure.
Another question over here.
Oh, hiya.
Hi.
Would you ever like to do an episode where you meet Fiona?
I would love to. That'd be awesome. It'd be like if in real life I met like my long lost twin sister who I'd never met. So that'd be super cool. I'd be down.
Another question over here.
What was it like working with Pendleton Ward, and would you do it again?
Yeah, I mean, every time Lumpy Space Princess is in it, Pendleton has to come in and record for it. And he's still involved in the overall storyline of the show, so I'll see him occasionally. And he's great. He's a really chill guy. He's a man of few words. He's knows what he wants, and he's just like, yeah, that's good, cool. Then we got it. We're moving on. You're like, all right, cool. But he's great. He usually gets embarrassed by doing the Lumpy Space Princess voice in the studio, and so usually he'll just like wait till after everyone else is done and then come in and do it by himself. But a lot of times I'll just sneak back in the studio and just watch him do it anyway because it's just fantastic.
It's a little bit creepy.
Just a little bit creepy. I'm not a stalker or anything.
No.
Just a little maybe.
Okay, over here.
So the Land of Ooh is really intense, and it has this great history, like the Great Mushroom Wars and everything. And I was wondering, do you know any more about the history than the fans do? Because a lot is kept in the dark.
Like the history of the land and the whole world and how it kind of became how it is.
Yeah.
I probably know about as much as you guys do for the most part, honestly. As far as I know, it was kind of takes place obviously in like this very post-apocalyptic world that I think there was like nuclear fallout somewhere way in the past, and everybody's kind of mutated to being the weird beings that they are in the show. And I know that we're doing a couple more mini-series coming in season 8 because people love the Marceline one in season 7, which is great. And so in those, we're going to be showing off a lot more background and a lot more of the origins of everything. Because we can do that in longer form story arcs. So you'll see a lot more of that for sure.
Another question here, if you start.
Hi. If you had any idea or if you could write an episode, what would you do?
Wow, that's actually a hard question. I feel like everything's been done, but every time I think that, then the writers come up with something even more amazing. The thing that I would have actually written is something that we have written by this point. The writers did this upcoming season in season 8, so I can't really spoil that. But it has to do with Stuff and things. It has to do with stuff and things, but they've done it, so it'll be great. That was the worst answer ever, I know, but that's about as much as I can say.
You gotta laugh. That can't be that bad. Another question here.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hello.
Hey, a while ago on Full Frontal, you said that your band has making an album.
Yeah.
It was in the works and all that. Do you know when it will be? Is it coming anytime soon, or?
Hopefully, yeah. So we're just probably about halfway, maybe a tiny bit more than halfway through recording the album right now.
Yeah.
I have a lot of traveling this month. Once I get back, we're gonna be banging out the rest of the album. So I'm hoping that the album, I think it most definitely, it'll most definitely be out this year. I don't know exactly what time this year. Maybe late summer, maybe in the fall, but I think that's probably when it'll come out. I'm hoping. So yeah, it'll come out this year though for sure. I'm really excited.
Any more questions out there at all?
My favorite cover is blue, by the way, if you were wondering. Just putting that out there.
Well, so I was wondering, because we had Jessica Chico here not very long ago.
Yeah.
And she said that she really ships the relationship between Finn
I
and
bet she does,
Plankton Sense.
yeah.
Do you?
I do too, yeah. I do. I love Finn and Flame Princess. I was bummed when they broke up in the show, so I hope they get back together. I'm in the camp that Finn just needs to figure something out as far as princesses go. He has the worst time with relationships. He can't hold down a girl for very long.
Yeah, he needs to sort it out.
That's kind of teenagehood though, I guess. So he'll figure it out at some point.
Well, thank you so much for talking
Of
to
course.
us. It's been brilliant.
And thank you guys for your awesome questions and being here. I really appreciate it. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thanks, guys.
And a round of applause back for our guest, Jeremy Shada.
Thanks, guys.